The biggest misconception Americans have about Latinos
Let's see it.
is that they think that all Latinos want exactly what the Venezuela immigrants have come here to get. Nothing could be further from the truth. Just because we're Latinos, does that mean that we agree that all Latinos that cross the border in Mexico should come to the US and get free housing? No. Just because we're Latinos, does that mean that we agree that Venezuela immigrants should get a food stamp card? Absolutely not. Just because we're Latinos, does that mean that we support all those Venezuelans who show up at every town hall meeting and demand that they get free housing? Hell no. Because the recent influx of immigrants that have come from Venezuela do not represent the rest of the Latino community. We are appalled that these people will come, cross the border, and demand free housing, demand food stamps, demand cultural friendly food. Who does that? The reason why we don't agree with those Latinos is because we have all paid our dues. Yeah, that's right. Before I became a teacher, I wiped old people's butts. I cleaned toilets. I cleaned houses. Yeah, we have all paid our dues. We came to this country and we never asked for a handout. That has never been what Latinos are about. Latinos are never here to ask for a handout. That's why we cannot identify with these group of people. Even their own Venezuelan people, the hardworking Venezuelan people that come to this country, they can't stand them. It's a special group of people that have crossed the border and they have come to the US to commit crime. No one in South America wants them, even their own country. Nicolás Maduro is not taking them back. And now we're stuck with them.
This is a very problematic stance that many people from Latin America, Latino communities adopt about immigration and other immigrants and othering within our own communities, perpetuating the problems that we face. Let's take this into Justice AI and analyze exactly what's at play.
The transcript from the Venezuelan TikTok creator contains several problematic statements that perpetuate harmful stereotypes and narratives within and about the Latino and Hispanic communities. Here's an analysis highlighting the key issues. 1. Stereotyping and generalization. The speaker makes sweeping generalizations about Venezuelan immigrants and Latinos, suggesting that all Venezuelans demanding social services are doing so inappropriately, and that they are a special group distinct from other hardworking Latinos. This framing perpetuates stereotypes about Latin American immigrants, portraying them as monolithic and reinforcing harmful narratives about deserving versus undeserving groups. 2. Respectability politics. The speaker engages in respectability politics by contrasting their own experiences of hardship and hard work, e.g., wiped old people's butts, clean toilets, with the supposed demands of Venezuelan immigrants. This rhetoric implies that certain behaviors and struggles are necessary to earn respect and rights, which undermines the broader socioeconomic realities and struggles that immigrants face. It dismisses the systemic issues, such as economic and political instability in Venezuela, which force people to migrate and seek assistance. 3. Criminalization and othering. The statement about Venezuelan immigrants coming to the U.S. to commit crime is a form of criminalization and othering. It not only stigmatizes Venezuelans, but also echoes broader racist and xenophobic discourses that often portray immigrants as threats to public safety. This is especially harmful as it creates an unjust association between immigration and criminality, which can fuel discrimination and bias. 4. Divisive narratives within Latino communities. The speaker attempts to create a division between different Latino groups, asserting that Venezuelans are not part of the broader Latino identity and suggesting that other Latino communities reject them. This divisiveness ignores the shared experiences and solidarity that can exist among diverse Latino groups facing similar challenges related to migration, discrimination, and bias. 4. Divisive narratives within Latino communities. The speaker attempts to create a division between different Latino groups, asserting that Venezuelans are not part of the broader Latino identity and suggesting that other Latino communities reject them. This divisiveness ignores the shared experiences and solidarity that can exist among diverse Latino groups facing similar challenges related to migration, discrimination, and socioeconomic hardships. 5. Misrepresentation of social services. The notion that Venezuelan immigrants demand free housing, food stamps, and culturally appropriate food as a form of entitlement is a misrepresentation of the social services that may be available. It dismisses the real needs and legal rights of immigrants and refugees, including access to basic necessities and the right to seek asylum. The framing of these services as handouts further stigmatizes people who need assistance, ignoring the structural inequalities that make such assistance necessary. 6. Ignoring structural and historical context. The transcript fails to acknowledge the broader historical and structural factors contributing to immigration from Latin America, such as U.S. foreign policy, economic sanctions, and political instability. By not addressing these root causes, the discourse shifts the focus to individual behaviors and moral judgments rather than systemic issues. 7. Reinforcing negative stereotypes. The mention of cultural-friendly food in a derogatory tone trivializes the importance of cultural competence and respect for diversity. It reinforces the stereotype that immigrant demands are unreasonable or trivial, further marginalizing these communities. 8. Impact on vulnerable populations. The language used in the transcript can have real-world consequences, contributing to a hostile environment for immigrants and marginalized communities. It can also influence public opinion and policy, potentially leading to stricter immigration controls and reduced access to social services for vulnerable groups. Conclusion. This transcript is problematic because it reinforces harmful stereotypes, promotes divisive narratives within the Latino community, and disregards the structural factors influencing immigration. It perpetuates a narrow, exclusionary view of what it means to be a deserving immigrant and fails to recognize the diversity and resilience within the Latino and Hispanic communities. For a healthier discourse, it is crucial to focus on solidarity, understanding the complexities of immigration, and addressing the systemic issues that affect all marginalized communities.